Oh, okay, here we are with fifth match in our league run with Orzhov Aristocrats. We're currently 4-0. This hand has a white card and no white mana, but it also has a 2 and some 3s and 2 lands, so I'm going to keep it. It's certainly not the best card we've seen, best hand we've seen in this run, but it's plenty doable. We're on the play, which makes it, oh no we're not, we're on the draw, which makes it slightly better, so we get to see if we draw another land. Well, okay, so we've got plays for turns 2, 3, 4, and even 5 as it stands, so I seem to be stopping my opponent's upkeep, so I killed my previous opponent in their upkeep. I don't really need to do that. I also don't need to stop my own upkeep. That's for a different deck I was playing. I'm a bit of a minimalist when it comes to stops on Magic Online. I kind of like the reduke system of having a stop for everything and just kind of really getting used to clicking through everything fast. But I'm more of a minimal stops person and then think about it and put the extra stop in if I need to do something at a different point. So this hand lends itself fairly well to playing against control-ish deck. I think we probably want to resolve Grim Haruspex while we can, and then other things later. I'm certainly willing to trade 2 damage for 2 damage, and I'm willing to trade a card for a card and a 1/1. I mean, if we're playing a value game, not a combo game, then we certainly need to attack that. And in fact, we'd rather use Filigree Familiar to prevent attacks from Haruspex, then he would make what is essentially a bad trade. So let's offer it again, and then offer up something to this telegraphed counterspell. If it's an exiling counterspell, it will be more sad to have exiled Weaponcraft Enthusiast. If it's non-exiling, it will be better to have had Weaponcraft Enthusiast countered for the recurring nightmare later. Weaponcraft Enthusiast with servos doesn't attack through Filigree Familiar, so I'm going to go for the Carrier Thrall and see what happens. Just put some more power on the board that doesn't care about a Wrath. I'd always be glad to be Wrathed at this point. And if they use a counterspell on up 2-drop, then so be it. Okay, so they dissolve, which means I guess Weaponcraft Enthusiast would have been a slightly better play, but, and they put on top. And we're out of land drops and we have 3 white cards in hand now, so this is not great. We didn't have a great opening hand and it is developed poorly. Meanwhile, our Cloudpost opponent has a Cloudpost. Yeah, we'll certainly take 2 there. He's going to Wrath, I suppose? No, seems premature. Not Wrath. He's just thinking about destroy target attacking creature, exile target attacking creature. We cannot put a sack outlet into play except for Recurring Nightmare, which doesn't really do what we're talking about. I think I'm going to play Recurring Nightmare because if they counter it, it probably gives us an attack for 5 because they'll tap 2 of their 3 coloured sources. Or they'll have Spell Burst. Well, at least we got that out of their hand before. So, given that they tapped so very carefully, let's attack with only a Carrier Thrall and not expose our Grim Haruspex to death. So we've fallen quite a long way behind here, and a fact or fiction or something similar is going to put us way down. If their hand is all lands, then that's great. I'm going to play a Carrier Thrall first, see what they do, and then pretty much regardless try and cast a Cartel Aristocrat. Yeah, so now I have a weird position where it's kind of okay to attack the Grim Haruspex because I can sack the new Carrier Thrall when I do it. I still think I'm going to... I mean, if they get to Second Sun, they'll be at 24 life, and I'm in no position to do them 24 damage. Maybe this is not the time to err on the side of conservatism. Let's see them Celestial Purge my guy. Waiting Glare. So I think I'm going to sacrifice this Carrier Thrall in response and draw a card. and then probably just let it happen. Anything else we can do? Really? Crib swap is pretty uninteresting in this matchup. Let's get pro white. Bye-bye respect. So we knew they had it, but it would have been nice if they didn't somehow. I think at this point we're hoping their hand is all lands. They don't seem to have counter spells. They might have chosen to counter one of those things. Maybe they're just hoping to wrath. Oh, okay. We had that's essentially another removal spell. I think I might have kept that if I was them, given I've missed land drops. Just putting anything on top, keeping me off more lands when I've got 4 cards in hand seems pretty decent, although they don't know that one of those cards is a basically dead crib swap. Stops Filigree from either drawing a card or trading the 2/2, I guess. Okay, so this is a lot of lands. Maybe they don't have any foths, and we can do good things. Well, we have the full set of Cartel Aristocrats, should that ever be relevant. What if I actually do crib swap this thing? Like, they're low on cards now. I'm assuming one of their remaining cards is Fact or Fiction, but if it's not, cutting off that card is pretty great. We no longer draw if they trade with Carrier Hall, so it's like a positive for them, and I'm just going to assume that crib swap doesn't do anything in this matchup, and I don't really want to be pushing out yet more creatures into a wrath, which is what they probably have. I'm certainly willing to trade any of these guys with 1 toughness with the Changeling. So it's essentially a 2-for-1 for them, but one of the 2 is crib swap, which otherwise does nothing, and the other of the 2 is half a Carrier Thrall. So now we have 4 power in play against our blue-white component who has a million cards. However, has a million life. However, they do not have a Fact or Fiction, because there's a 0% chance they would not have fired it off at the end there. So they just have whatever they drew now, which looks like it was a wrath. And now all the Carrier Halls are dead. They think it's worth playing it out. Oh, they made a do. They certainly don't have any counter spells, and they're even attacking. Wow, there's a land here. That is in no way a land. There are 3 planes left in our deck. If we go and get a planes, we can double spell this turn, I think. Given our opponent has essentially nothing, that we will take the risk of exiling the entire library. We did not exile the entire library. Let's make a Cartel Aristocrat. A Cartel Aristocrat. That's probably less than they were afraid of, given as they have 4/4 and more life than us. If they go for the beatdown plan here, I think they're making a big mistake. Because I have infinite blockers in my deck. 2 more cards to cast next turn, including Weaponcraft Enthusiast. They have 1 card, which is a nothing, I guess. Okay, let's attack. Oh shit, if it's an attacking creature or removal spell, I'll be embarrassed here. It either isn't, or they didn't think it was worth using. Let's make it in Aristocrats. And another long line of Cartel Aristocrats. And I still think them being on the beatdown plan is terrible here. I mean, I might block just to not go to 4. No. Finally, they drew a Foth. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana left this turn. So they cannot plan an outburst with Awaken, winning the game on the spot. But they can do that next turn. So let's treat that as if it's a very important card. They've got as many lands as they could possibly use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to Planet Outburst this turn anyway, right? Let's give them the land and the Planet Outburst. And then hopefully they'll just Planet Outburst for no Awaken. And give us 3 cards, and then we can untap and rebuild to defend ourselves against 4/4s. If they go for all the card draw, then game on. I mean, I'm behind them. I'm really tempted to take Planet Outburst here because there's a potential that they can just pass the turn, have me do whatever I want, and then kill me with an 8/8. At this point, if I had demonic consultation, I might go for Scoured Barons. Okay, but they went for the long game. They were too scared of I don't know what. They have Anticipate Fact Fiction, Hieroglyphic Illumination, and one non-exciting card in hand. Interesting choices. Maybe not attack. So, they currently don't have a counterspell, we believe. There are two. What is this? This is my graveyard. There are 2 crib swaps in my deck. So if they go for their Hail Mary, Glorious Death plan, then I demonic consultation for a crib swap and try and make it not work. And if they have a counter spell, then I die. Oh wait, they don't have Planet Outburst. They took the other pile. Two red caps are already exiled. I don't really want to be consulting for a red cap, even though it's my best card here by far. It's something like 1.5% to instant lose here, going for a red cap. They're going to draw a lot of cards and then see what they can see. I really want something in play that survives a Wrath. Unless I'm going to do the consultation for crib swap, which is the same chance of losing instantly as red cap. What's the chance that they foff into like... If this... I'm going to attack. See if they let me draw extra cards. I'm going to attack with these. Either 2 or 3 of these. I'm going to attack with all 3 because 2 is just not enough of an attack. I'm going to let that happen. So now I draw a card. So, it's either red cap, and if it resolves, kill the land, or Weaponcraft Enthusiast with consultation for whatever in return. I don't think they have a counter, right? So let's just go get a red cap. And let's try not to insta-lose. We certainly have an Anticipate to go look for one and various other things. I mean, we're not in a good spot here at all, but we might as well make them have it. So we still have 18 cards in our library. So if this resolves, Cowabunga. I suspect we're going to see a flurry of Anticipates and Foffs and what have yous to try and find an answer to this. Yeah, Foff makes sense, digs the deepest. So I'm going to offer you Syncopate in the second pile, along with a thing that doesn't matter, and leave you with Exile Planet Outburst as the other choice. I don't want you to gain life. So if my red cap resolves, and you take the Planet Outburst, you can Planet Outburst, make your guy an 8/8, and I have to block with the red cap, which is pretty good. But Syncopating the red cap is better. So Outburst and Syncopate have to be in separate piles. Exile and the other 3 cards don't really matter. So let's just put, you know, random shit together. And I think he probably takes Syncopate here to be safe. Yeah. And then he Syncopates my red cap. Now he's got a load of cards. If he draws a Planet Outburst, he wins. And various other possibilities. And I only have 7 power in play. So he's got a lot of ways to win here. And I do not. It's going to be tough. Also, if he doesn't draw a Wrath, and he stays on defense with the Plains, and I resolve some Weaponcraft Enthusiasts, and draw some cards of Grim Haruspex, sacking them to Cartel Aristocrat. I mean, it's a shame that the land doesn't have a colour, since Cartel Aristocrats could even get in, but, you know, you can get pro-white, play around that Exile, which actually he discarded, so that's not relevant. Planner Outburst here is lethal, so probably wants to dig for it. Although I guess he needs a lot of mana for a lethal Planner Outburst. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I'm not blocking it. I'm using my card drawing engine. It's not like he's going to burn me out. It's going to need to attack again with that plains, and I can block it then with something much more applicable to blocking. And if he doesn't make a creature here, then ooh lordy, something that's double blue. The hell is double blue that you play at sorcery speed? Ah, that douchebag. Okay, so there's a fog for the 8th lane. We'll definitely want that. It gives us no mana to play with and no good attacks. Do I attack anyway to attempt to draw a card? I think so. So we're going to be blocking the 4/4, so let's just make a suicide attack with this card to Aristocrat and see if we draw a land so we can make a Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Card is a land. Let's go with Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Let's fuck this up and leave ourselves with 1/2 free mana. Weaponcraft Enthusiast, and we'll choose servos because somebody's blocking the plains. It actually gives us £7 swing back. Makes me wish Cutler Aristocrat was a Bloodstone Vampire. But I guess there won't be much of a swing back because of Aetherling. So we're pretty much dead to that Aetherling, but maybe we need to concede for time considerations, but let's just at least go 1 turn cycle with this plan. Alright, off you go. We don't actually have an answer to Aetherling in our main deck or sideboard other than just winning. Potentially we could find our way to the combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would have to be draw 1, get the other off Weaponcraft Enthusiast, as we have no spare mana for anything else. Let's let them run their clock down to nearer to ours at the very least. So Aetherling can't be blocked. Just attack with Aetherling. And declare blockers. We can't declare any blockers because it can't be blocked. Let's attempt to crib swap it. So counterspell here wins, otherwise they have to wait till next turn to win. So anticipating or frothing maybe. Decided not to use a Cloud Post because it makes so much mana that it's... Oh, it's draw 2. Using double blue, that's interesting. I guess they're leaving the Cloud Post up for syncopates or something on my turn. So this is Spectral Fiction. Dig, dig, dig. Did not find. Let's give you this set of things. I guess Azorius Charm is the best card here, although he has no blue mana left this turn. If he casts Azorius Charm, whatever. This doesn't matter too much. It's a bunch of cards that don't matter. We're either comboing by some like fluke set of draws next turn, or we're losing. So he takes the Azorius Charm, which makes attacking even worse than it already was. So we need to draw either half of the combo. We only have 1 murderous red cap left that's not exiled. But it does win the game if we find it. So if we put a Grim Haruspex into play before sacking, we draw more cards, but we've lost the game, so that's a nonsense. So let's sacrifice this guy and see what we get. I think actually we've lost regardless of what happens here, but maybe we'll find a Scoured Barrens. There's nothing else we can sack on board to get cards. So we really need to find a Scoured... Oh no, Scoured Barrens doesn't work because you can pump the thing. Not ready to concede here. So this guy Draw another card. Huh. Funny. Blue. So I can come into play and shoot the Aristocrat to draw a card, but then I don't have a sack outlet or enough money to play the Vizier. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just concede. Okay. Let's draw a card just to see how horrendously close or not it was. Oops. Or not, so I click begin sideboarding. Okay. Control deck. Mindbenders. Don't like. Crypt swaps. Fog against Aetherling, indeed. They did not have anything on to seal or deadweight. They did not use their graveyard. Lone Missionary is terrible against them. That looks like the deck we want. We're on the play. Let's try and combo them or aggro them out. This is not the most aggro you could build this deck by a lot. Like, I've even played a version of this deck with Rakdos Cacklers in it. Like, you can be as aggro as you want. You know, you could play no recurring nightmares, you could cut the combo, you could be mono black, you could be red black, you could play Grenzo, you could play green black. There's a lot of aristocratic cards in the Season 9 pool. But the Demonic Consultation just always pulls me towards the combo. Now we have Distended Mindbender to clear the way, maybe. You know, sack out that on 2, Weaponcraft Enthusiast on 3, Distended Mindbender on 4, and then go wild. I don't know, we'll see. It's now raining really heavily here. Hopefully my mutterings are still audible. I'll close the window. Yes, we want to play first. Well, that's a super awkward hand. So turn 1 we play Nomad Outpost. Turn 2 we consult for Swamp. And then turn 3 we'll probably make a 2-drop. It does, however, have the entire combo. But we're going to have to draw 2 more lands, preferably starting with an untapped land on turn 2 for this to work. I am really unsure. I think I'm going to keep it, if nothing else, just to learn how it plays. Also, I better play faster if we're going to win this match. Trying to make at least some semi-intelligent comments. This is what we feared. I mean, it's not like we were odds on to draw an untapped land or anything. So it's fair enough. I think this hand may be powerful enough that even if we knew the top card wasn't there, we exiled 10 cards, including 2 Cartel Aristocrats, but we have the combo in hand, so let's try and get it all resolved. Very sure, in terms of board control, it just seemed to be the sweepers, right? It's counter spells, little dudes that block, and the Wrath. The Wrath costs 5, so although that is a Cloud Post, and we are not drawing lands, so swings mana bats. I'm going to play around Azorius Charm here. It would just be really bad to have the remedies put on our top of our library, and I guess we're currently all in on a combo that we need another 2 lands to execute. We have Distended Mindbender to clear the way if we end up faffing around with little guys, although if he plays a Glimmer Post here, he might just Wrath our team, and we're in a really bad way. Recurring Nightmare will get back the pieces that go to the graveyard, so as long as they don't get exiled, which only happens when we attack, I think, from the cards we've seen. There's always hope. I mean, if we draw lands from here on out for the rest of the game, might give us chances. You know, and this deck has lots of 2s. Maybe we can just play a bunch of 2-drops and do okay. Okay, so there's a 3. I kind of want Weaponcraft Enthusiast in hand, so that if it... I don't know, if he's Wrathing, though, we want Green Haruspex. If he has a counter spell, depends which one it is. Weaponcraft Enthusiast is fine to get countered and it's fine to resolve, but then if everything gets wrathed away and we don't draw land, we're just going to untap and play Green Haruspex. It's not the worst. So 7 cards in hand, so I'd probably put him on a counterspell and a wrath. This tapping looks so much like a counterspell, doesn't it? Let's go for Bucklecraft. I'm not sure I can justify this over Haruspex. Maybe Carrier Thrall is the right play, because it's like semi-okay against the Wrath, unlike this. And also like our least good cards, it doesn't matter if it gets countered. We're not attacking into that. If he doesn't have a counter spell, he's definitely got either a Wrath or a Zorius Charm. Oh, here's a 4th. Let's just put the Panel Atlas didn't sound. If he already has one, he'll take the other pile, and we're just really fucked, but he'll be discarded to hand size anyway. Like, we're in a bad spot here, any which way. Yeah, he took the Wrath, so he didn't have it. Oh well, I mean, it's a blue-white control deck. It's going to Wrath here every once in a while. And we have the tools to rebuild here, potentially. I'm going to slam Haruspex. He doesn't have any Wraths in hand, otherwise there's no way he takes that pile. So let's start our rebuild with the guy that draws us cards, so that things don't get countered and so on. It would have been nice to have a Distended Mindbender. It would have been nice to have had a land on turn 4 or turn 5 for that matter, but we did keep the 1 land Demonic Consultation. We kind of brought it from ourselves. That card does not matter, and I don't know what it's doing enough to sideboard really, but it does stop the beatdown plan. So now am I prepared to get Azorius Charm? I don't think so. I think I'm still playing around it, although he didn't take the one we saw, so we have seen one. If he counters this, I'm definitely attacking. Oh, he has black mana. Oh, should probably have paid attention to that. So he's going to kill my things over and over again, but maybe that's okay. It's definitely not okay. Okay, so Obelisk of Alara is still in because he has black mana. So last time we played against this deck, it was blue-white. Or I guess it's still blue-white, it just has some Arcane Sanctums for random Obelisk of Alara value. So what we really want here is an untapped land. So now we can Distended Mindbender without further ado. Because we don't have anything that beats Obelisk of Alara apart from that. Oh shit. That's not a 3-drop, it's a 2-drop. Whoopsie. Okay, so let's go for a Recurring Nightmare. Let's see what we've got. Now he can kill my guy, and then I can turn my guy into my guy, and it's all a bit pointless and rubbish. He can counter this, I have 2 more in hand. I think he's going to kill my guy with his -2/-2 end of turn, though. It seems pretty hopeless here. I guess the 5-0 dream is over. Maybe keeping that 1 tap land consultation hand was bad. It really put us behind. Although, if you're going to try and beat us to death with a 3/3, I'm not that frightened. No, if this is another 4th, we could be in real trouble. No, okay, he's just doing the minus thing. I mean, that having the ability to give one of our little dudes -X every turn is pretty good. Even here, if we play like red cap and it resolves, he can kill it and then kill it again before we can Mindbender. None of which is great. I think what do we want to do? If we draw another land, let's just go for a Recurring Nightmare. We don't have to use it. Just having one in play for when we finally resolve a creature would be great. Okay, so let's counter draw. Cryptic Command impression there. I mean, there's nothing going on here. He's going to kill us end of turn if we don't use it, so I'm going to use it to try and get another Recurring Nightmare out through this force field. Then if maybe we resolve something, we can turn it into something better, and playing to minuscule outs here. Okay, so that's the 3rd. Oh, he puts a card on the bottom, but he has 4 cards in hand with the ability to kill any of our creatures apart from Distended Mindbender at will. So we're in a bad spot. We're also low on time. We also lost game 1. So I'm not saying we're totally dead, but we're totally dead. I don't think there's any point trying to resolve one of these cards because he just gives it -X, on taps gives it -X. So the vampire he just kills, and then he's got every ability left that he would have had. The red cap he kills, and he also has to kill again, otherwise we can Mindbender. Okay, let's play to him being a bit daft and not killing it in his own turn. It's possible that you could do that, keeping your options open style, and then if we ever get priority in the main phase, we can resolve a Distended Mindbender off our paltry red cap. He may not even want to kill a red cap full stop, because, it just comes back kind of thing, and they gain 5 life here. I think that's important, which it isn't. In which case we're definitely... Oh shit, I should have done the 2 damage to the planes to discourage him from killing at end of turn. That was dumb. Yeah, because 2 damage to his face doesn't matter. Oh well. We were in a pretty bad spot. Playing suboptimally just makes that worse. So let's see if they main phase kill the red cap if we're going to get this into Mindbender out of all this. F6ing along to encourage the thoughtless passing of turn. We're going to resolve an 8th enemy. Make all of this chat irrelevant. Yeah. Well, it would have been nice to Distended Mindbender before that. Is he going to do it? Yeah, he's going to do it. Kill it with fire. Nope, prismatic lens. Okay. And here it is. Okay, good. So there was nothing we could have done, and we are essentially dead. Well played, sir. Well, 4-1 with deck. One of those wins is a little bit dodgy, but they all count. And hopefully you got some idea of how the deck plays. We didn't play red deck wins or anything like that, which is a shame, because it has a very good matchup there. But at least you can see how you eke out the wins in the other games sometimes. Thanks for watching.